So this is a cold one with Corey and Carlisle. And if you don't know already, this is simply a free-form conversation recording session where Carlisle and I, we sit down, we have a six-pack of beer, and we talk about things that happened the previous week before. Now, these are more like audio podcasts, which means that they're longer than our video reviews, and they're also unedited. So if you're offended by the foul language, you might not want to listen. But if you aren't, then sit back, hang out with us, and we hope you enjoy. Thanks. It's time once again for a couple of cold ones with Corey and Leon. Yeah,
every week it's supposed to be Corey and Carlisle.
Well, every week Carlisle does that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, that's not me doing that. He does. That's his thing.
Okay.
Can you imagine that son of a bitch trying to be Barry White? He comes in with a Jerry curl wig and everything.
You mean very white? It's an old joke, but it's a classic, but still a goodie.
But hey, you can't pass it up. Not with him because it's the truth. That ain't no joke. But so I just took it upon myself because he's not here this week.
I know, and I guess I'm going to be doing double duty because I'll be recording a Leog.
That's right, on Wednesday night. Yeah. So tonight, and he made sense. He said, "Look, you guys just got back because okay, people. Tonight is Monday, the 28th. The 28th. Looking at that James Bond watch you got on.
Yep, 28th.
Got a computer right in front of me, but you had to show off that Rolex, didn't you?
Hey, man, I had to beat James Bond's ass to get this watch. Of course I'm going to show it off.
Damn, that's all you got? You could have took the car, too. Shit, if you're going to take something.
I wasn't thinking at the time.
Does it shoot a laser? But so it's Sunday. You got back yesterday. I mean, It's Monday tonight. You got back on Sunday.
Right.
So I'm just getting back tonight. So
man,
Carlisle
you never sleep. You're the hardest working man in show. Now that James Brown is dead, you are the hardest working man in show business.
Yeah, I killed him because I wanted that title. I just exposed myself right there. Yes, I murdered James Brown because, man, you ain't no joke. I mean, I worked my ass off at that Comic-Con.
Yes, you did.
I'm not even saying this to brag. I thought I was going to go and be like, yeah, Comic-Con, I'm going to have fun. And I went there and I was like, I'd be damned. I either was stuck in a hotel room. I was stuck in a room at the convention center or stuck on the toilet.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. Man, you were in the exhibit hall, not the exhibit hall. In a room where they were showing previews, or stuck in a hotel room on the toilet, working on your laptop at the same time.
Man, let me tell you something. Okay, first of all, I know you don't really listen to this, so let me explain this to you, how this happens, how this works.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, Carlisle thought it would be good if you and I did it because he's busy tonight, and he said you got back from Comic-Con, and it'd be good for you guys to go ahead and just compare notes because we got a lot to talk about.
Man, he's not busy. He's somewhere painting his Dungeons and Dragons figures.
For him, that's busy. That's not a pastime for him. That's life.
He got a new Vorpal sword or something.
Yeah, I got a new wizard or some shit. Holding a fillet of fish in one hand and a magic wand in the other. All right, let's go ahead and get into the top five here. Number 5. That's what he does.
Oh, okay.
All right, so number 5 is Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Did it open at number 5? Or it's number 5 left over from
now,
last week?
We saw this. This movie's been out for 3 weeks.
3 weeks? Really?
Yeah, this movie's been out for 3 weeks.
Oh,
and
damn.
And it's done, it hasn't done great. It's done $60 million right now, which is probably more than they thought it would for a movie that type.
Yeah, it's respectable.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much money they spent on it. I mean, it was in 3D, so you know how it is with me. You put shit in 3D, I don't know how bad the effects are. Yeah, man, that dinosaur's coming at me.
I mean, it's not even a real movie. It's a thrill ride, basically.
Yeah, it's Six Flags.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It's something that would be at Six Flags or it'd be at one of those Las Vegas casinos.
I'll be damn. Computer's whining now. I got to go get the ice pack. Can you go get the ice pack? You see I'm strapped down. If you don't mind. You see I got these headphones on. And I'll keep talking while you're doing that. And if the ice pack's not in there, get a TV dinner. That bottle of Jaeger that's in there, we'll put it under here if we need to. Those aren't mine. Wait a minute, the cold pack wasn't in there? You sure? I threw it in there. You just want to drink that Jaeger. That's you ain't fooling nobody. Hey man, since it's out and it's yeah. Oh, here it is. Yeah, you ain't slick. Did you lock a chipmunk up in there? You hear that? Is that a no? Don't mess with it. You can leave it like. You can say that. I think it does that sometime. I'm gonna say you like a squirrel up in there.
Damn, nigga, you got some cheap ass shit in here. First off, your freezer that doesn't have a light on, so I couldn't see jack shit that was in there. Now, an alarm is going off on it. What is that?
It ain't that cheap if I got a car alarm on my freezer.
That's kind of ghetto. That you live in a house like this, and yet you got a car alarm on your freezer.
I can lock that shit up with my keychain. Oh, the squirrel are down a little bit. We'll just go ahead. I knew that was going to happen. It was doing it ever since I filmed a movie over here. Anyway. Oh, my God.
Hilarious. What the hell is that?
People, I'm sorry. I would love to continue with this, but I don't know what that is.
I swear to God, it sounds like one of those aliens on the Outer Limits. Just from some cheap 60s TV show.
Oh, my God. People, I'm so sorry for the delay here. We can't even get to the top 5. Okay.
You got to stop.
Yeah, I got to stop this. I can't sound like a fucking spaceship is coming down. Yeah. People of the earth.
Exactly.
I've come for your German sausages. All right, I just had to unplug that shit. It would stop. We've come for the Jägermeister. No, it's okay. So it stopped. All right, so Journey to the Center of the Earth. All right, I don't even want to talk about that shit no more. I mean, we got interrupted enough. I need to get to this top 5. We're going to be here till 5 o'clock in the morning. Number 2. So, number 4. Okay, this is the one I want to talk about right here.
Okay.
The X-Files. I want to believe.
I want to believe this is going to be a good movie, shit, but it sounds like it ain't.
No, I believe this is some bullshit because look, man, the movie made. Now this is the X-Files. I mean, I was in New York when they came out and like, how many X-Files fans do we have out there? They'll be like, yeah, like, oh, we're gonna do gangbusters with this, and like, I'm thinking to myself, every X-Files X-Files fan in New York is in this room because don't nobody give a shit about the X-Files no more. What made them think they can make a movie right now?
It's one of those shows. Personally, on a personal level, I never understand why they make a theatrical movie based on a TV show. Because I'm like, wait, I used to watch this for free, and now you think I'm gonna pay to go see this shit? You got to be out your goddamn mind. But X-Files is one of those shows when they said they were gonna make this movie. Now, after the first movie was bad, you got people still want to believe that the next one was going to be good. Like, they're like, no, this will be the good one. We believe. And you're right. It is probably about 2,500 people total. But apparently this movie is not even no better than the first one.
No. I mean, $10 million, man.
$10 million? Really? That's what it made?
Opened up at 4th place and $10 million. They said that was probably half of what they expected this to make. They were like, okay, we get the feeling now there's not a whole bunch of people really wanting an X-Men movie, but maybe
X-Files.
I mean X-Files movie, our X-Men movie at this point too. But they were saying, yeah, but maybe we'll just make really good money on that Friday, and then we can just go on our merry way. And then they looked at the returns and they're like, shit.
Well, how long has that shit been off TV?
That's what I'm saying. Who don't nobody give a damn about Muldoon and Scumrag or whatever.
I'm just saying. I mean, that was a show that I was never all that into.
Mulder
and
Scully.
On TV.
You know, they had these one-shot episodes every now and then.
Yeah,
and
every so often.
And those one-shots were cool. As a matter of fact, one of them is one of the best things I've seen on TV. One of the scariest things. It's just the most disturbing. And this episode called Home. It gave me nightmares. I gave me a nightmare after I saw it. I was like, damn, that was disturbing. But I don't think people understood that this movie was also supposed to be a one-shot. It was not supposed to be related to this whole alien conspiracy and all that kind of bullshit. And it wasn't pitched that way. People still thought that they were continuing the storyline from the show, and people were sick of that in the first place.
Right. Well, see, here's the thing. Like, I know one guy who he'd been bugging me like all summer about the X-Files movie. Is it going to be good? What have you heard? Are you going to get to go to a screening? Can I come with you? Now, first thing y'all need to know, and if you don't know already, was that not only did they not screen it in Austin, Texas, they screened it the closest to us was San Antonio, and they forbid anybody from Austin from going to the screening.
Yeah, we covered that last week. We talked about that whole thing. Yeah, and they didn't. So
they know like with Austin, they're like, okay, you guys are picky and a little bit more intellectual than most, and we don't want any bad press getting out. We want this to get out of the gate as fast as it can with no press on the strength of the diehard fans. And this guy who loves X-Files, he went and saw it. He came back to me today and said it was like a bad episode of CSI. He said he couldn't wait for this. He couldn't wait to see this movie, and he saw it. He said he was bored and disappointed.
Man, it's not even an episode of the X-Files. It's like, this ain't even the X-Files.
That's what he said. CSI. He said it was CSI.
damn, this is I was puzzled when they said we're making the next X-Files movie because there was really no demand there. I mean, there wasn't.
There wasn't.
I thought to myself, maybe there's something that I'm missing because I'm not a huge X-Files fan. I can tell you a lot of things about the show because I just caught it, just like with Sex and the City.
Yeah,
I knew more than I thought, but I never thought that people were saying we need another X-Files, and there it goes, right there. You didn't. So
serious. Any TV show, the only movie a TV show needs is a TV movie.
Yeah. Well, Wrath of Khan was pretty badass when it came out. So.
Okay, but how many years after the fact?
Okay, all right. I'm just saying it's possible.
And by that time, it was based on a movie franchise.
Okay. I'm just saying it's possible. I think they could have made a cool ass X-Files movie, but the time for that is past.
They
but they
tried
didn't.
Twice.
Yeah. Well, maybe they can't. I don't know. I don't watch that shit. Anyway, so number 3. Oh, I didn't sing it. Number 3, Mamma Mia.
Oh, your favorite movie?
Look, I'm a fair guy. I like I said, I will tell you if something's doing well, if there's a demand for it. Apparently, people want to know. This is how much people didn't want an X-Files movie. They wanted a Mamma Mia movie before they wanted to see the X-Files. Now, Mamma Mia, it was a modest budget for that movie, and believe me, it shows. That was a goddamn high school production, but I mean that thing must have cost like about $10-15 to make, but they made $62 million so far after 2 weeks, and that is not bad for a movie.
Not bad.
A musical that has a diehard fan base, but not really well known.
Well, I think like they said, like I read that as far as musicals go, it had like the second best opening next to Hairspray.
Actually, you know what? I'm sitting up here. I am talking out my ass. I'm sitting up here saying it's probably not well known. That means I don't know it, but I know I was reading up on the movie. The movies, I mean on the show, I don't know if it's on Broadway, the stage show.
Sure.
That shit has made like $2 billion now.
Right.
Like, and so that's a hell of a lot of people that want to see this. So apparently that fan base to help supply this movie with a lot of money. And it's not bad for a movie that's opening up against Batman, a bunch of other high profile movies, and it's a musical. And hey, what can I say? It's not even that big of a budget.
I gotta tell you, I like musicals, and I'll admit to liking ABBA. You know, I'm a child of that era, but I had no desire to see this.
It really is for people who want to see this movie and for people who love ABBA that much.
Now, people.
Gay people and women who are 45 and over.
Ah, gotcha.
And their kids. I mean, I don't know. My whole opinion is after I saw this movie, I went to go eat at Denny's, and I heard ABBA playing over the speakers while I was sitting up there eating pancakes, and I'm like, if you into ABBA and you just want to see this just based on ABBA, you can hear ABBA anywhere. I'm sitting up here eating fucking pancakes in Denny's and ABBA is playing. Do you really need a musical based on ABBA music to go see at the theater? I don't get it, but apparently a lot of people do. The movie made $62 million.
It's funny. So. It's one of those things where like I say I like ABBA, but I don't own any ABBA albums. It's like I always kind of, I always enjoyed that music. But it's the kind of thing like once people start making a big deal about it and acting like it's bigger than what it is, it almost makes me want to not like them.
Actually, this musical makes the music look bad. If you ask me, it's like this music was a part of its time, but it ain't fucking good.
It was just a little fun pop music, but don't act like it's bigger than what it is.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on to number 2.
Does Carlisle talk less? Am I talking too much?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
No. Does Carlisle talk less? When does he ever talk less? If anything, I'm worried if I'm talking too much.
I was being sarcastic.
And it's so funny because I will say to him, I will say, well, okay, let me get a word in here. Let me continue or something. He's like, after he's talked for like about 15 minutes, oh, I'm sorry. I just thought that this was a thing where 2 people talked. And I was like, well, no, it isn't because I haven't been able to say a fucking word for the last 10 minutes. So I'm trying to make it that. You sarcastic motherfucker. You. So anyway, number 2 is Step Brothers.
Oh, now here's a movie that we all loved.
Well, yeah, I know y'all made fun of me.
I should have waited till you had a swig of beer in your mouth to say that.
And I was about to take it too. As you know, I hated this movie, and I thought people were getting tired of Will Ferrell after Semi-Pro.
Yeah, apparently not.
But apparently the fact that he wasn't doing some sports shit maybe is why people want to see this.
You know what? I can't figure out what it is. I mean, honestly, for this to do so well, I don't know why Semi-Pro didn't.
The only thing I can think really is that this was Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and people were thinking about how good they did together back in Talladega Nights.
That's got to be it.
And so they said, well, it's not a sports film. These guys are doing what they do best. They're acting retarded, and they were very funny together in that movie. So, yeah, people went to go check it out. As much as I didn't like the movie did well.
I'm betting it also played in a lot of theaters that The Dark Knight did. So when people got up there and they were like, sorry, we sold out. Like, fine, fuck it. I guess I'll see Step Brothers instead.
Yeah. Or it could be some sort of, it's just strategy, too. I mean, Dark Knight's been playing for a while.
True.
This movie's the newest movie, and it's counter against everything that's out there at the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the new releases, this is the comedy. So, yeah, I mean, it's all a business movie, and it worked well. And it helped that it was in 3,000 theaters, so whatever. They knew what they were doing. All right, and here we go. Number one.
Well, golly, what could be the number one movie?
It's funny because Hellboy shot back up, man.
Did it really?
Yeah, it did. I mean, it's funny how Dark Knight fell. No, I feel stupid even saying what number one is because everybody knows what number one is.
Wait a minute, Hellboy's not in the top 5?
No, it's not.
Wow, I'm truly shocked.
Actually, Hellboy fell to number 8, and it's only made $66 million.
Damn, really?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's okay, but it's not.
That's not really okay for that.
For that kind of movie, I mean, they made it for a low budget. I mean, okay, not a low budget, but they were smart about their money,
Sure.
and they were able to shoot it on a lower budget than probably most people
Sure.
would shoot. I mean, apparently Guillermo del Toro is very smart about that.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's not the top 5 anymore. The Dark Knight, though, on the other hand, has made $313 million, man.
The movie's a juggernaut. I mean, it's got, besides having just all the gimmicks that goes for it, it's a good fucking movie.
Yeah, no, it's that's one of the things that they're beginning to realize. You cannot take these comic book movies and think comic book and be afraid to make dramas out of them. Be afraid to make a straight action films out of them. And the thing that's the word that's being thrown around right now. I just read it in USA Today when I was on my way back. The superhero is gone right now. It's not saying super villains or anything like that, but they're saying the goody two shoes, all for good, coming out being the straight edge Boy Scout image of a superhero is gone. They want people with problems. They want people who are dark. They want people who are mentally ill, drunks. I mean, look at Hancock. Look at even Batman in this. We begin to wonder if he's crazy.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's so much what's selling it. I mean, to me, what's selling it is the fact that it's a whole new generation. Prior to this, the generations that were filming the comic book movies were the same parents who threw out their kids comic books, who were like, why are you reading this junk? And when they were told, like, hey, we're giving you a superhero movie to film, they were like, okay, this is just a bunch of stupid shit, bodybuilders in cat suits, with lantern jaws who always do the right thing when it's kind of goofy. Sure,
Yeah.
I can do goofy. I can do all that. And if it didn't have some element of fun or goofiness to it, they were like, oh, come on, lighten up. That's what these things are about. Now you got the generation who grew up with these things, who took them seriously, who saw the potential in them, and they're saying like, yeah, I'm going to exploit it exactly for what I see it as.
No, it is a generational thing. And that is funny because we're going to talk about this when we get into Comic-Con. Because you've been to Comic-Con before. I have not.
Yeah, I've been this is probably my 10th one.
So I'm there, and I'm beginning to realize what is happening with all of this stuff now. Things that were seen as nerd things, or niche things, or things that were just you were supposed to drop at a certain age. It's finally coming to age, man. And it's not only is it coming to age, but it is very trendy right now.
No, geek culture is now pop culture.
Yeah, exactly. Now, before we get into Comic-Con, because I think it's going to be sort of we're going to be getting into it pretty deep.
Okay.
I want to go ahead and just jump into some things that happened this week.
Okay, but news.
There you go.
Timothy Frog here for Sesame Street News.
That big into you, ain't it? By the end of the night, Kermit the fucking motherfucker. So, speaking of Batman, there's talk about this movie possibly beating out Titanic as the number one movie of all time.
Right now, it's looking like it. Well, you know what? You know why it's going to beat it? Because I'm going to go see it again twice this weekend.
I don't want to be the guy to go out and say my opinion is right. You need to go see this movie that I love to make this other movie that I do not like disappear. You need to make this movie number one. So I'm not going to be that guy, but if you do go see it over and over again, you will be putting a better movie in its place, I think.
Well, you got to ask yourself, who do you want to be the ruler of pop culture? Teenage girls or guys?
Are the teenage girls 18 yet?
Either way, do you want them in charge of what movies you see?
No, I don't know. I'm still amazed. In my opinion, James Cameron made a technical marvel with Titanic. I mean, I think his love was there for it. At the time, it was amazing to see the Titanic sink at that time.
Okay.
But the rest of the movie, I love James Cameron, but I'm gonna call it for what it was. The story was just filler for you to see that boat sink,
yes.
And the acting was bad. Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate, what's her name? Kate
Winslet.
Kate Winslet. Look, everybody in the movie did their part, but you had a couple of roles that were kind of bad, especially, you know who I'm talking about.
Who, Billy Zane?
Billy Zane.
I love Billy. Well, I love Billy Zane's character because I feel like this is a guy who's getting fucked and everybody's treating him like the bad guy. And I'm like, hey, she's the one marrying him just for his money.
That's true.
He's in this for real, and she's just marrying for his money. And he's there with his business associates, and she's fucking around with this little
tramp.
Tramp in front of her. You know, like that makes him look weak in business, and they're gonna laugh at him behind his back and just take advantage of him. And she's putting him in jeopardy. So he had every right to get mad, grab her by the wrist, and y'all might say like, well, he was abusive. For that time period, that was not abusive. For that time period, he was being a nice guy.
That was getting shit done.
Yeah. If he had thrown her off the boat, that would have still been acceptable.
Back then, yeah. For what she did, it would have been like, yeah, you know, okay, I would have hated to seen you back then.
I'm just saying, hey, I was back then. I'd have been somebody's butler.
You would have been cracking bottles over bitches' heads and shit. It's acceptable.
I'm just talking about the good old days. I mean, I'm talking about the old days, you know.
Now, you see how you explain that? Now, is this the movie that you want to be number one of all time?
Oh, no.
Now, then you got a movie
No. Here's my thing with Titanic. I don't hate the movie. I give it a lot of credit for being 3 fucking hours and not, boring me to tears where I got up and left. Now, it does drag. Don't get me wrong.
Well, but, you don't drag because you're waiting for that fucking boat to sink. You waiting for Leonardo DiCaprio to freeze to death and go to the bottom of the sea.
Well, I didn't know he was going to do that. But I do like when everything's going down, the band's like, well, let's just keep playing.
Now, those motherfuckers did not play when that boat was sinking.
Well, what the hell else were they going to do?
Run? I mean, this any kind of chance. Hop on an iceberg or something.
That's like Nero fiddling while Rome was burning.
You know, all I'm saying is, you ever heard a band like a marching band, and somebody just stopped and you hear this, that's what you heard when they got up and ran.
That's how you got fusion jazz.
Shit, those motherfuckers are they were probably pushing women out the way. Shit, I need room for me and my drums. Shit. Bitch, you better get out the way. I got a gig tomorrow. But no. Now, is that the movie you want to be number one? Do you want something good, like in all areas? Look, because like I said, my whole point with this was that Titanic was, well, it appealed to the young girls because they love the love story. Sure. So we're talking about young girls.
Yeah, young girls and lonely middle-aged women.
Exactly. And everybody else just wanted to see the Titanic sink. That's all this had going for it. No drama, really.
Not really.
No, nothing deep there. But with Batman, I'm amazed that they made a good movie.
Yes.
And if anything deserves to be number one of all time, is this film.
Yes, it's a film that's so good, no matter how much somebody comes to you and says, man, this movie's great. It's probably one of the best movies you're ever going to see.
I think they're chasing Batman outside. No, look, I'm happy for the movie. I know somebody out there saying, what you happy for? You ain't getting none of that money. But I'm happy to see a good film that deserves to be well recognized. After so many times I've seen examples of good movies just go under, and being nervous about this movie because it's so good, and when you walk out, you're kind of worried of, well, our audiences going to like this because they're going to think it's too deep or too good and it's not comic book enough.
I'm happy because now I no longer have to argue with people about whether Tim Burton's Batman is good or not, or whether it's the best Batman. You still got some people who's like, well, I thought Tim Burton's Batman was the better Batman movie. I'm like, what are you, sick?
I have surprisingly not had to argue with people on that. Maybe because I didn't come at people too strong. Because I've always said I like the Tim Burton Batman for what it is. I think that it set a legacy for the image that we want of Batman.
Okay.
It set the standard, but is it a good script? No, it is not. And I keep telling, is it a good movie? Really, sometimes it feels like they made it so poorly that the editing is even bad.
Right.
Everybody knows that scene where the Joker comes in and puts handprints on a painting, and then there's another scene where the handprints are gone.
Right.
So yeah, and it's just disjointed. It's the Joker show.
It's to me, that movie is typical of what I see Tim Burton do all the time.
Yeah,
where he takes somebody else's property and makes it very Tim Burton-y, and then somewhere in the middle or in the third act, just kind of gets bored with it and just does whatever.
Yeah. So, I'm the movie. Possibly, we're not saying that it is going to do that, but at the pace it's going now. 313 million, is that what it is? Something like that. It is on its way to possibly being a good contender for beating Titanic. And you know what? I'm happy about that.
Here's the one thing that could stop it from beating Titanic.
James Cameron. No, what?
DVD, people knowing that there's a point where you could see it twice in the theater and say, I want to see it again, but I'll wait to watch it on DVD.
That's true.
Where you couldn't really do that with Titanic. So with Titanic, you had to go to the theater to see it.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty good assumption there. It is. I never thought about that. And it's true with DVDs these days. People can be patient.
Yeah.
They should just come out and say, you know what? All you sons of bitches are going to see this movie so much, we're going to wait 2 years to bring it out. In fact, it's not going to even be out until the next Batman movie is going to be out. I'll fix y'all little asses out there.
Well, I would say to anybody who's thinking that, I'll just watch it on DVD. This movie was filmed. A lot of scenes were filmed in IMAX. So it's really set up for a big screen.
Now, that's one of the things that people are talking about.
Is how it's broken all the IMAX records?
Well, no, because everybody knew that was a great possibility. But also, this whole competition with the home market and getting people into theaters.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that they're thinking about doing is adding scenes to movies, things that you can only see theatrically that fits the format of a huge screen.
Right.
That in 3D. And so, I mean, this could be sort of a litmus test for that kind of thing. So, speaking of Batman, and like we have been doing in the last hour. Yeah. Here's an interesting story somebody sent me, man. I didn't see it till I got back from San Diego today. What the hell are they chasing out there? You hear that shit? And the Joker must be out there running around somewhere.
It's the Joker.
Damn, because everybody thinks that this place is located in the ghetto, and it's not. I mean, it's just near.
Kinda is.
Is it?
No, not really.
I was about to say, where? They about to put me out. I mean, the price is going up around here. Listen, I wish it was the ghetto. Wait, I got the freezer to go with it.
With you living here, I'm sure a lot of people around here think it's the ghetto. Like the moment they saw you moving your stuff in, they were like, "Oh shit, call the realtor."
God damn, this Negro's moving next door.
You're a Blockbuster.
Okay, let's see, man. We have this story that somebody sent me. Now, I haven't read this. I'm gonna read it to you.
Okay.
Apparently, some fool left his baby. I ain't even no kid. Left a baby in the car to go see Batman.
Maybe it was Batman.
What? Maybe I gotta go see my own movies. Yeah, he left a little baby dressed like Robin in the car. No,
well, you gotta admit, like The Dark Knight is not a movie for kids. So, in some way, he did the more responsible.
He was being a responsible adult. Probably was his excuse when he got arrested. That's what he's gonna say in court. He's like, "Hey, I was
Your
here
Honor,
already.
I want you to look at this movie. Now, tell me, would I have been responsible to take my kid to see this?"
I hope he's not defending himself. Because if he uses that, they're going to lock his ass under the jail. All right, let's see what this says here. It says, a Salt Lake audience was engrossed in the new action-packed Batman when it was interrupted by police who stopped the film to arrest a father who was watching the movie while his child sat in a locked car in the Century 16 Theater parking lot. So this dude, so think about this. You sit up there watching Batman, and they probably have some scene where they are chasing the Joker.
Oh, right.
And the police will come after him, and then the film stops, and the police come in. They're like, "God damn, he in here? Hey, man, you got like about 5 kids dressed like the Joker at that screen and running out the theater. I didn't do it."
Well, think about how pissed you would be at that douchebag who stopped your movie because he left his kid out there.
Because he was a suck-ass father. Now, check this out. It gets worse.
Okay.
It's bad enough that you locked the kid in the car.
Right.
Now, there is a pro and a con here, but this is bad.
I mean, I do remember my parents, or at least my dad, used to lock me in the car when he would go in the stores.
When he go drink?
Yeah.
Wait here for me, son.
He cracked the windows, and that was back in the 70s when nobody knew any better.
Hey, boy, you want to be a superhero? Watch my car. If anybody tries to mess with, do some of that kung fu shit you see in cartoons or something. Now, check this out. It was almost 2 a.m. Sunday when the 2-year-old boy was finally rescued from the car.
2 a.m.?
2 a.m. Now, I was going to say there's a pro and con to this. I was going to say, well, at least it was at night where it wasn't hot. But they said the temperature inside was 87 degrees. But that wasn't the only threat facing him. While the 23-year-old David Farnham,
23, of course.
yeah, dumbass, was enjoying the 11:30 p.m. showing of The Dark Knight inside an air-conditioned theater. While this little motherfucker sat in the car, that's what it says right here. No, while was enjoying the movie inside an air-conditioned theater at the Century 16. Whoever wrote this must work at the Century 16 theater. I have a cousin that works there. They sure are plugging his name.
Tell me something, like right now at this moment. Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
What?
Please don't be black. Please don't be
No,
black.
they got a picture of a white dude with a mullet up here, as a matter of fact.
Whew.
No, it ain't no ghetto shit here. No. Let's see. His 2-year-old son, Justin, was alone in a hot car surrounded by signs that warned patrons to park the car at their own risk. So apparently this is a dangerous place to park your car.
So somebody might have broke in to steal his tape deck and took his son, too.
Well, apparently to him, the tape deck was more valuable than the son. So.
Hey, son, I need you to watch this while I go and watch. Enjoy
The South Salt Lake police say Justin had been in the car for more than 2 hours when other moviegoers noticed that the child was calling for help.
Damn,
you got a 2-year-old kid sitting up there calling for help, man. I can't even read no more of this, man. This is the kind of dude. You know, Batman should have came in there. They should have said,
I was just thinking that.
"Hey, asshole." You know what they should do to this dude, man? They should not lock him in a jail cell. They should lock him up in a car.
Oh, that's good.
They should lock him up in a car for at least a week.
Yeah.
I mean, just enough for him to survive. Give him some water and some crumbs, and let him feel how that child felt, man. I mean, because that is this. I was laughing about this at first, but I'm actually kind of angry about this.
Well, they should turn him over to the audience who had to have their movie stopped.
Oh, they care more about that movie than that kid. They would tear his ass apart.
Exactly.
You have 10 teenagers dressed like Batman beating his ass with bat boomerangs that they made themselves. This motherfucker, man, they should have him dressed like Batman and sit him in a car.
Yeah.
And have all the guardsmen dressed like Joker and make fun of his ass.
I mean, damn. I mean, I'm sure even Christian Bale be like, yeah, I beat my mom and my sister, but I wouldn't do that to my kid.
What was the deal with that, man? Christian Bale beat his mom and his sister. Okay.
You know what, dude? I mean, it said he assaulted them. And for all we know, his mom is like all full of histrionics of his sister. Really, there's too few details about that story to even really comment.
For all we know, Christian Bale, and everybody knows Christian Bale is the actor who played Batman.
Right.
Maybe his mom was bigger than him. Shit, I don't.
Well, at the same time, I mean, shit, if he is Batman,
well,
I'm
that's
sure
what
you put a hurting on him.
Now, see, here's what you're thinking when you read that story. Because I don't know how many of you out there read this, because this happened 2 weeks ago?
A week ago.
Something like that, yeah. So it's just hot off of Batman. Yeah. And we're still thinking about Christian Bale as Batman. We ain't thinking about him as Christian Bale.
Yeah.
So you hear Christian Bale arrested for assault, and we're thinking, oh, shit, who did Batman have to beat up? Yeah, boy, and we're turning the newspaper pages, and we're like, his mother and his sister. Batman had a fight with his mother and his sister. He's gonna beat up Alfred next.
Well, on the TV show, he used to fight Mar Barker and her sons and daughter. Maybe he got them confused.
Shit, I think Christian Bale was just after shooting that movie for so long, and he just got so into the role where
he is one of those actors. He's a method actor.
Exactly, he got lost in that shit. I mean, he killed Heath Ledger.
Oh, damn.
But that's what some people think. I've had to tell people. I've had to tell people that yes, he probably has a very busy work schedule. He has trouble sleeping. This kind of thing will do it to you.
Yeah.
Creative people have trouble sleeping. They're insomniacs. And I said he just took some pills
and when you're a drug addict, then there's a good chance you'll overdose too. I mean, let's not mince words. He was. Everybody knew that.
Well, no, he did drugs, but apparently here he just took
I think this was a total accident.
It was total accident. I mean, being a drug user now, you might be inclined to take in more than the prescribed dose.
Right. It's the kind of thing you go like, oh, I'm used to. I know I have to take more than this, and then
exactly. So he probably overdid it. But a lot of people thought like, man, he was so into the Joker that he couldn't stop being that character, and he just took some pills to relax, and it killed him. I was like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. All right, he just couldn't sleep.
I've done something similar before, and you don't see it coming. It's funny with this Christian Bale stuff, because one day I read like a quote, celebrity quote of the day, and it was Christian Bale. I asked him like, what do you think of Batman making all this money? He's like, yeah, these numbers are crazy. It's just like Monopoly money to me. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're Bruce Wayne, a billionaire. Of course it's like Monopoly money to you.
And what do you say? He's like, I ain't got that. I ain't got $1 billion, you dumbass. I wish I did. Did I miss something there?
No, I was saying he's Bruce Wayne. Of course, he'd think it's all Monopoly money.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, hold on. I ain't trying to be an asshole, man. I'm trying to cover for myself, if anything. I'm up here feel like a dumbass. I'm up here trying to work this and listen to you, and I just feel rude. That was a sincere laugh. It was.
See, now I see why Carlisle likes to piss you off.
I know. He's like it's a preemptive strike. If he doesn't do it to me, I'll do it to him first. No, I'm just fucking with you, man. Speaking of drug addicts, I'm looking at some of the news here. A great segue here. Shia LaBeouf.
Oh man,
that dude.
What is he doing? You know what? The thing is, when nobody believed in him, I believed in him. I'm like, no, you guys are going to see the power of the Shia. This is a kid he did TV. He's got comic timing. He's like Homer Simpson said. He's somewhere between a nerd and a hunk. Not quite either one, but somewhere in between. He's going to be the golden boy.
Did Homer Simpson?
Yeah, Homer Simpson said that. And it fits so perfectly. All right, that whole flap of him in the Walgreens, he apologized. He was polite. They let it go. All right, he got a citation for smoking where he shouldn't. He's been smoking a lot. He's got a lot of kids look up to him. Shouldn't be smoking, but hey, not a big deal. Now he had to go for the golden ticket and get a damn DUI by having a wreck, running into another car while driving drunk.
This is the second one, isn't it? There was one before that.
Was there? You sure?
Or maybe he was just arrested again. Maybe that was the Walgreens thing that he was looking crazy for.
Those other two things.
But yeah, this is disappointing, man, because Shia LaBeouf really is the kid that everybody thought he's smart.
Yeah.
He's so talented because he's not coming up being some stupid ass pop star.
Right.
Who's going to just be a flap in the wind. He's actually a great actor.
Yeah.
And everybody's rooting for him. And now everybody's like, oh, shit, this motherfucker.
Here's another one.
Here we go. Can't control himself. I guess when you get money and you're young, you just can't stop.
And the thing that bugs me is like, does this mean that like in 10 years, I'm going to have to see him on The Surreal Life?
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think that he's going through the motions. I mean, if anything, he'll probably will pull a Robert Downey Jr. just earlier. Maybe he won't even get to that stage.
Why does he have to even do that? I mean, you know what? He got off light with those first two things. And that should have been a warning to him. Like, okay, I need to pull back and chill.
I'm just scared that he's going so crazy now. And this is nothing against Christians, all right? But I'm just scared that he's going to go wild, just look back and say, damn, I really was going crazy. And he's going to pull a Kirk Cameron and get saved and then start making these stupid videos trying to tell people how peeling a banana is the proof of God.
Shia LaBeouf has the world on a string. I mean, like, it's been handed to him. He's a young, good-looking white male who's in, like, popular movies. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves him. They see him as a good kid. He's a good kid.
Yeah.
He could write his own ticket. He could do whatever he wants. Just stay on it straight and narrow. I mean, not everybody gets to be in an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And Transformers also.
But see, that's the thing. You're right. You said he's a good-looking young white dude. He can have anything he wants. Can have any girl that he wants.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you got two brothers right here. You and I sitting up here
struggling,
working our asses off.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of dude you just want to grab by the neck and just say, "Look, I like you right now. Don't fuck this up. Because if you do, I'm gonna whoop your ass."
That's the thing. Like if I was to come in proximity of him, I would snatch him. I would grab him when nobody was looking.
Yeah.
And bring him down to my basement and tie him to a chair.
Damn.
Yeah. And throw cold water in his face and slap him upside the head. Make him do Tai Chi until he got his shit together.
Damn, Leon, I thought I was going to stop at I'm going to pull him in the side and snatch him. I thought I was going to smack him around.
He spent the first month cussing me out and telling me how he's going to kill me once he got out. But by the time I was done with him, he'd be like, "Thank you, Sensei. You have taught me well. I see the path."
I'll be the one who comes in and be like, "Hey, Leon, what's going on?" Fuck, is that Shia LaBeouf over there?
He's like, "Yeah, I'm still working on it. He's a work in progress. You'll see."
Leon, we were just joking, man. I didn't know you were going to really do this shit. But no, I just wanted to snatch him by his hair and be like, "What the fuck are you doing, man? Shut up." Just kind of smack him around. But I guess you're right. A little hard-headed punk like that ain't going to learn.
He needs Samuel Jackson from Black Snake Moan to chain his ass to a radiator until he can get his mind right.
Even dress him up like Christina Ricci. Put him in some dirty panties.
Hey, sir, I don't really think this part is necessary. Shut up! I'll be damned if I'm going to let you get a DWI. You got the world on a string.
Damn, man. I don't even know if you got time up. Just looking at Samuel Jackson's gums while he's yelling at you, that's enough to make you go straight. They should have a Scared Straight with Samuel Jackson.
Exactly.
Just bring him in. What the fuck are y'all doing in here? All right, shit, get this nigga out of here. I'll be okay. All right, good. I'm fine. Just don't show me his gums no more and teeth. So, oh man. So one more announcement here on the since we're speaking of people screwing up just by being drug addicts and shit. I mean, we got Amy Winehouse,
who's not really a movie star, but okay.
Who's not really a movie star, but she made entertainment news. I mean, I'm just bringing. The reason why I bring it up because and I'm doing this seriously.
You're right.
No. The reason why I'm doing this is because you are a huge Amy Winehouse fan.
Yeah, I am.
You were the one that turned me on to Amy Winehouse.
I am a huge Amy Winehouse fan. This has all been heartbreaking, all this news with her going down in flames. Because for me, like I talk about how like there's so much new music I don't like, and of like the 5 or 6 things I do like, she's one of the ones that I love.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we first started the site, and you would put music on your page.
Yeah.
And you just had tons of Amy Winehouse music. And this is where I was spending a lot of time. I'm like, fuck the site. I'm going to hang out at Leon's page. Because you had all this music on there that I liked. I used to cut your page on and just have like a party to your music. I was like, yeah, ladies, come on in. Music provided by DJ Leon, who's not with us tonight. But now listen to this shit here. Amy Winehouse was hospitalized Monday night for a reaction to medication, but was expected to be released by morning. Representatives for the Grammy Award-winning singer said, do you think that this medication was crack? Maybe. I mean, come on. Who you fooling, man?
I mean, they lie so much.
Yeah, we're talking about Amy Winehouse. Now, I mean, there's some stars who we know do shit, but they don't get caught or make a big deal out of it. And we say, okay, we know you're lying, but we'll let it go because there's a chance. But Amy Winehouse?
You know, man, I mean, besides like the fact that like she's so talented and she may never make another album again other than those first 2.
Because she'll be dead if she's not careful.
I mean, like if you were to take away her being so like Auschwitz skinny and the really bad skin and the missing teeth.
She's got missing teeth?
Yeah.
Jesus, that she really is a crackhead.
Yo.
It's like they got her off of Skid Row and said they heard her singing when she was high. And they're like, hey, just bring in the studio.
Yeah. And that crazy beehive hairdo. I would think she's really hot. Like I really like that Jewish girl look that she's got. You know, I would be all into her.
You know what you said? You were just like, if they just took her brain and put it in a better looking body.
Well, no.
I would like that.
No. It would be like to take her, like to get in a time machine and catch her before she if the first person who gave her weed was like, oh, it's just a little crack. It ain't no big deal.
Yeah.
You can smoke it once.
Gave her
if
first
just be there to like slap that out of her hand and say, sweetheart, don't do that. Come with me. I'm going to show you the ways of love. That would be perfect.
That'll be your Terminator movie.
Yes, it would. Yeah, I know. It'd be like, okay, you got one shot to go back and save the human race. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. Or I could go fuck Amy Winehouse while she's still hot. I think I'm going to do that instead. You know, human race, they'll get another chance.
I can see you coming out like looking at the dressing a leather jacket shade. Come with me if you want to get fucked. If you want to live. Live. Come on. I meant live. Just get in the car. Shit. She's like, it's a DeLorean. I know it's Back to the Future. I look like the Terminator, but fuck it. Just get in. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, it's like, man, you could have done all kinds of shit. You could have killed Hitler. You could have saved Martin Luther King. And like, look, they had their time. This is my time.
Shit, I deserve a break today. Shit. I can't believe this shit. I could say Martin Luther King or go fuck with Amy Winehouse. Guess what I'm going to do? Go say King. No! Shit. Stupid motherfucker. No, okay. So, that's enough news right there. Now, let's go ahead and get into what I've been wanting to talk about because this was a great experience for me, I have to say. Comic-Con.
Man, I was so happy you got to come and check it out and see what it was all about.
I think this year was probably the best year for someone like me to go.
Yes, it was.
Now, I keep bringing this up. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but as I said, I went to the New York Comic-Con and had a taste of what this what the San Diego Comic-Con would be like. And the reason why it was so good to go is because it really opened my eyes to how much, and it's something I already realized, but to just see it there with 130,000 people, it really has hit mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not, like you said, geek culture has become mainstream. It has become mainstream. And I think it's been mainstream for a long time. I was just telling somebody the other night that, well, it's just people coming out now. It's like a whole country of gays who all of a sudden say,
That's true.
Okay, it's cool now.
To where the gays have bred so much that they're the dominant culture.
Exactly. Yeah, you have no choice but to come out.
Yeah.
So when I went there, man, this whole thing, let me tell you something. It was hardly any geeks there. I mean, we had people in costume. They were there.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong, but the chick who's going by, who's fat, dressed up as Princess Leia, hardly any there. A lot of these girls were fine.
Oh, that's the thing. That's like you most comic book conventions you go. Yeah, if there's a girl there, she's usually pimply and she's fat or she's not that attractive. She'll be attractive by the third day.
Because you'd be fucked up by the third day when you're tired.
When I used to be a comic book artist, we go to cons. We talk about not beer goggles but con goggles. Like it'd be some girl you see like that chick's got a lazy eye. Then by the second day, like she looks better than the other girls here. And then by the third day, you'd be like, man, that girl is hot.
Maybe that's what happened to me. I don't know. I was delirious by the time we got there.
You get a lot of hot chicks. Now you got booth bunnies, the models that people hire to be at their booths, attract attention. But you just got regular girls who come in costume or not, just there to check out shit. And it's just a sea of them.
Well, let me tell you something. The ratio of ugly superhero girl ass to good looking superhero girl ass, it was low. The good looking girls were taking over the place.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't never seen so many green bitches that look good, Wonder Women and bitches from Star Wars. I've never seen that in such a place, and all of them be just hot.
Well, that's the thing. It's like at San Diego Con, like you hire like models for your booth bunnies. They gotta have like big silicone tits because that's the only way they're gonna stand out from all the regular girls who are already sexy walking around there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because they're there. And here's the other thing. And this is what got me, man. When I was there, it's everyone. It's young, old, and it's all colors, and it's just people who look like everyday people.
Yeah.
But what got me, I was outside checking on the girls, and I'll tell y'all who the girls are in a little bit. But I was checking on the girls, and there was this guy who came up. You know how now I compared 3 people there that looked like somebody off of Sanford and Son.
Sure.
And this was a dude that came up, looked like one of my old uncles, and came up and like, hey, how y'all doing today? What y'all getting away? And I looked up and I was like, what's this homeless son of a bitch? And I was like, wait, he's got a badge on. Who did he steal his badge from?
Well, that's the thing. San Diego does have like the highest population of homeless people.
Oh man, they just chilling
in
just
the U.S.
Chilling
but hey, the weather is perfect there year round. So if you're homeless, San Diego is the place to be.
Save up all that money you begging for on the street, get a plane ticket, and go to San Diego because it's good weather there. But now I looked up at this dude, and guy looked to be about like late 50s. Just saying, y'all enjoying the convention? It's like, yeah, how about you? It's like, oh yeah, my sister works at the convention center. She's head of parking over here, and then I just come here every year, and it's a good time. It's a good time. I was like, is this Negro serious? Like I mean, you could tell that he came he wasn't lying. He was like having a good time. And I was like, this place, comics, sci-fi, even, well, I won't say video games right now, but it's getting there. But all this stuff that we saw, this is what geeks do. We have evolved.
Oh, yeah.
It is here now.
Yeah, yeah.
When you and I went to that panel for BET, the moment that the president of BET comes out and says, if y'all ain't reading this book, I don't know what y'all talking about. It's like, all right, comics have come to age now.
Yeah. The head of entertainment at BET is a comic book writer.
Oh yeah, animation, all this stuff. Animation has come to age, and that was. And if there's one thing that I noticed here, a lot of people have said that 2D animation. They even still say it. Oh, 2D animation's dead. It's going.
They're full of shit.
2D animation on television has been bigger than anything else out there.
Yep.
Because they were showing us stuff in the Black Panther, and everybody's trying to find different styles with 2D animation. I mean, for one thing, it's easier to produce than 3D.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like 3D, like people, I don't know if they're discovering it now, but 3D is what's limited.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different styles of 3D, but not the whole lot that's different about it.
Yeah.
But with 2D, it's the door is wide open for what you can do.
Yeah, and everything starts as a 2D image anyway.
Right.
Even before you put something on 3D, it has to start as a 2D image, a sketch, a concept. But yeah, looking at that, I saw so many 2D projects that were being done. Afro Samurai, Samuel Jackson's thing.
Yeah, I hate that I missed that because you made it sound like it was really good.
It looked cool. I've never seen the show. It's on Spike. They got a new season.
Oh, does it?
Out.
So it's a regular series that's on Spike?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm not going to even claim to know.
I didn't realize that. I thought it was like some kind of direct-to-DVD thing.
It could be. I thought they said it was a series, but I don't know.
Okay.
But and there's a lot of violence and cursing in it, so it could be just a DVD thing. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, my point is anime has helped animation come out,
yeah.
and there's a great anime presence there. And this is an anime. Technically, it is an anime.
What you're starting to see at San Diego Con is because when I went last year, I was amazed. Like when I used to go back in the day when I was working comic professional, it was mostly comic books, and it was starting to be a little bit of movie stuff and maybe a tiny bit of TV. And then after a long absence, I went back last year and I was like, wow, comics is only a third of this now, and now the other 2/3 is taken up by television, movie, video games, and anime. And what I saw this year is more of an evolution where all these things are starting to meld together.
Yeah.
It's starting to become one big mesh.
You were so right, because comic books have now risen to the level of being entertainment, not just comic books for a niche.
Right.
They are a viable competitor in the field of entertainment.
Yeah.
And that's why all these things are meshing together so well. I mean, because we got things there that are not. It's funny to see sci-fi fans. And I read an article. They said sci-fi fans are looking for these top 5 movies to come out because of their presence at Comic-Con. And they listed 5 films that were, 4 that were either fantasy or sci-fi. And then they listed Pineapple Express. And Pineapple Express is a stoner film. It's a comedy.
Right.
So you're beginning to see entertainment just come there to just be recognized no matter what. I won't be surprised if we saw some drama there one day that just seemed like, well, this is a good place to promote it. Where there is this kind of niche crowd there.
It's funny because while we were there, we had like a group of our fans who showed up just to check us out.
Should we say their names? Because those guys were cool.
Those guys are really cool. They all work for Rockstar Games.
Yeah. Should we say their names or not?
Well, I know it was Chris, Raphael, and Ben. Those were like the 3 guys we went to lunch with.
Yeah, and those guys were badass, man.
Yeah, no, we love those guys.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for coming out to lunch with us. Thanks for taking us somewhere.
Yeah,
for
taking
lunch.
us someplace for
lunch.
lunch.
Yeah, we met a lot of people there who were real. More people than I was surprised about.
Guy? I'm just killing me that I can't remember his name. He had the portfolio. He was taken to be reviewed. I can't want to say Josh, but I'm sure that's not it.
Oh, you know what? I forgot that guy's name. There's a lot, man.
We met a lot of people.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I told that guy I'm bad with names.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He's not great either. I mean, but he's good at recognizing voices. So if that means anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing was, I had a point. We're talking to these guys. Oh, you know what? I was talking to these guys, and they talking to me and complaining about like, yeah, man, the show's getting hijacked away from comics. And I was like, yeah, I know what you guys mean. But I say that as I'm out here promoting my movie-related web show, so I can't really bitch about it too much.
No, I mean, and it's a good thing. Look, don't knock it for not being about comics that much anymore because
it really is.
Well, it is. That's the heart of it.
Yeah.
If you take that away, you do not have a Comic-Con.
Right.
But it can only help bringing all these different interests in and exposing them to what's there. It's legitimizing comics for people who probably wouldn't otherwise accept it. But yeah, speaking of girls, man, how about those girls we had out there?
Oh, the Spill girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, that look like a couple of Doublemint twins.
I know.
With legs all the way up to their necks.
I know. Those girls were tall, man. Walking next to me, I was like, shit, I want to ask one of them, you want to go play basketball? I mean, look, I don't even want to talk about these girls bad because
No.
One of them was 17, and she was actually a very sweet girl. This girl named Katie. She was actually Katie. She was actually really nice.
Katie and Jennifer, right?
Yeah, Katie and Jennifer. I was going to mention Jennifer too, but Katie was the one that was actually a fan of the site. Here's what we did. The company that we worked for, they hired 2 girls to go to Comic-Con.
Our corporate masters.
Exactly. Bullies. Went out there. No, they're good people. Went out there and passed out. They made these girls go out and pass out condoms. So
it's funny how often we like try to distance our name from spill as in seed and semen, and yet we pass out spill condoms.
Well, now people will recognize that because you said it. We've gone all this time without people noticing that.
I think people would get that. They would go like, oh, this is a porno site.
No, nobody got that at all. It had movie reviews on it in the first place. And then second of all, the thing that people were laughing about was the slogan on there, if it sucks, we'll tell you. So, yeah, people were real cool about it, man. And we had, because when we got there, we had 6 boxes of condoms. I mean, before it was over with, it ended up being like 12.
Right. It's so funny. Like when we showed up, when 6 boxes of condoms showed up, we were like, Jesus Christ, what are these guys thinking? We're never going to get rid of these.
Yeah.
What, 4 boxes were gone within the first 3 hours?
Yeah. Yeah. They went right through them, man. And and the girls were cool. I mean, apparently they were good looking enough for them to actually go out there and pass the stuff out. Now, the thing that creeped me out, like I said, one of them was 18. Okay, she's legal, big deal, but that's still kind of young. The other girl was 17, and they got these creepy guys coming up to her. And I wasn't there for the creepiest. When I came out and Katie was saying, yeah, this guy that came up, and he just stood right next to us, and it's like, hey, girls, what are you doing? And she's like, look, you're like 50. We're 17. You might not want to do this. And the guy was like, oh, that means I can't touch you. But I didn't stop her coming back and be like, hey, girl, so I got a hotel over here. What are you doing later? And he's like, yeah, the son of a bitch came back.
All right. In this guy's defense, you got two girls who look very much alike with long blonde hair, really long legs, black Daisy Duke shorts, and a black tight T-shirt. Now, all I'm saying is that kind of thing will like set off something in a guy's mind, and once that gets going, it's hard to steer out of it.
Okay, it's okay to come over and talk. And
sure.
just say, hey, maybe flirt a little bit. I think it's kind of creepy because I wouldn't have done it. But this
you
guy,
a goddamn lie. You'd have done that shit in a minute if you thought nobody was looking.
Now, come on, man. Now we know what we say. We joke around, but there's no way I would do any of that to any of these booth girls, anything.
It's only because you knew those girls were 17. When I looked at him, I wasn't thinking 17.
Well, even when I got there, I didn't start messing with that girl. She was like, yeah, I like the site. I was wondering if you'd be here. And I didn't start being like, because Jamie looked at me like,
yeah, because Jamie was standing there looking at you. If Jamie had not been there.
No, Jamie gave me the look like, hey, man, I was like, man, what are y'all thinking? I said, I'm not that fucking, I'm not that bad.
Come on now,
okay,
man.
let me put it this way. I just would not be that creepy, regardless of what I would have done. Even if I had done that, I would have been cool about it.
I have watched you. You will do something creepy and then say to the girl, like, I'm not being creepy by doing this, right?
And they'll accept that.
Exactly. You totally tell somebody like, well, I'm not doing the exact thing that I'm doing right now.
That's what you call psychology. But this guy didn't have that. He didn't have that kind of knowledge.
See, if you're going to run a bitch, the first thing you got to do is get in that bitch's mind.
Exactly. He didn't do that. He didn't have those skills, And so I had to tell him. Now, I wasn't even there for it. She just said the guy came and stood uncomfortably close to her and just would not go away and just kept making these little snide sexual remarks. If you're going, okay, maybe I would have done that, but I would have at least done it in a different place where they weren't working, they weren't busy. I would have just sat back and been like, hey, so you cooling out right now? Hey, I like them dudes, the Daisy Dukes you got on. Can I bend you over this counter right now? No, I wouldn't have done all that. But the guy I did see who came over was some guy who, oh man, this was crazy. This guy came over. He must have been, I don't know, late 60s, pushing 70. He came up there. First of all, he was a short guy carrying around these magazines of pageant models.
Was it Porno Chris? we have a friend we call Porno Chris.
And he did something like this.
He's Porno Chris when he turns 60.
Yeah, exactly. I ain't gonna even bust Porno Chris like that and bring all his business out. But I am. He used to go Porno Chris. We call him Porno Chris because he used to walk around with a portfolio of all the porn chicks that he took pictures with. Like he would go to the XXX store
and pay $35 for those
the Polaroids. Yeah. And
he had a full album, a photo album full of them.
And we had to tell him, that's why we called him Porno Chris. He's like, I want to be called Reptile Dumpling. No, we calling you Porno Chris, all right? Because
like he didn't have a job, but he had a photo album full of $35 a pop Polaroids of him posing with porn stars.
He's probably selling semen or something. I don't know, but that fool, and we had to tell him, Chris, stop bringing us to the bar and scaring people, all right? You know, man, how much I like you, but
I like the guy too.
Yeah, no, I still talk. Chris is great. He's a good friend of mine. Guy. But yeah, this guy reminded me of Porno Chris when he got if he was all like pushing 70.
Yeah,
because what he was doing was, and then he came up with, I don't know, like macaroni or something on his mouth.
What?
Like a little bit of like something, a little speckle of food on his mouth, and there was another one on the lens of his glasses.
Okay.
And I'm like, how the fuck are you eating food? How do you get food on your glasses? Your glasses are in front of your face. They are blocking your eyeballs. You have to see that piece of cheese or whatever it is right there that is on your lens.
Unless he does that all the time.
Unless that's his thing. Maybe that's what the girls like this. Macaroni and cheese gives off pheromones that have been scientifically proven.
Right.
Yeah, shut up.
I thought you were creepy before, but now I see that macaroni.
You're delicious.
Let's go party, dude.
Can I lick your glasses? But he came up and he was saying, how are you girls doing today? You look so good. And I was like, and I saw this happening. So, what am I going to do? This old guy. The best way to get people not to do something is to not play the tough guy role. Hey, motherfucker, what you, no matter who it is, you just kind of be nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, what you got there in your hand, man? And he's like, I have a a catalog here of girls that I recruit to be in fashion shows. And I'm like, okay, this already sounds like some bullshit. So I put my arm around him. I said, oh, really? Well, recruit your ass on over here. Let me I just walked with him. I said, I kind of gave him the nudge. Like, okay, I can see what you're approaching these girls, especially while they're working. Yeah. And you're going to try and get them. You know they're young. So you're going to try and do this thing where you take advantage of them and try that. And these girls know better, first of all. They would have told him, fuck off. But he was going to try and pull this whole spiel of trying to recruit them. So I just said, hey, man, come on, come with me. Oh, let me see what in your portfolio what you have. Yeah, walk with me. And I'll push his ass around the trolley. No, I just sent him on his way. I just said, nice meeting you, man. I think he got the message like, okay, these girls got a pimp or something.
Well, man, the thing is, I think as a man, there's never a time in your life when 22-year-old girls aren't attractive to you.
They were 17.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
I mean, come on. The girl, she was very nice and she was very sweet. I couldn't even look at her any other kind of way. I mean, she's an attractive girl. Both of them were. And,
yeah, they were very attractive.
Yeah, but Katie was the one that was actually being very friendly and being open, and it just gets to a point where you're saying, man, this girl's being so nice, I'm not looking at them any other kind of way. And she was so sweet because when she left, she didn't even do this thing of, it wasn't even business with her. I told both of them, I was like, all right, well, it was good having you here. Everything worked out. Thank you for your hard work. Shook their hands, and she was just like, looked back and said, can I get a hug? And I was like, oh, this is sweet, man. This girl's so nice. So. Now, see, you turn into something nasty.
You know you got a hard on when that girl hugged you.
Man, why do you got to say that, man?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bust you like that.
The one time I'm trying to be decent and show people that I'm a decent guy, now they're going to be thinking, yeah, that motherfucker had a hard on. I didn't. And now she's
stabbing in the stomach, weren't you? You stabbing in the stomach.
Man, I hope she is not listening because she's probably thinking, no, she knows I didn't, but she's probably thinking, these guys are gross. Katie, sweetie, look, you hear me, all right? You and I were friends there. I'm talking to
Call me.
Yeah. I'm typing an email right now. You know that's not true.
Sending her a text message on her Facebook account.
With a little smiley face at the winking at her. No. They were good. They were good, man. They were very nice, and they actually worked really hard when they were out there.
Yes, I will take you to prom.
But she will be 18 in a couple of months. So call her then. No, I didn't. Nothing going on like that. Katie's a nice girl. God damn
your mom's always telling you should meet a nice girl.
You know something? You know that whole time machine thing where you talking about going back and stopping things? I wish I could come out and say, Corey, now you knew you shouldn't have brought this up. Because I wanted to mention them. I want to give them a compliment, and I knew it was going to come out wrong. I want to compliment them for working hard. I knew that this could come to no good.
But the thing is, those girls did work hard. They did a great job.
They were eager, man. And
to be so young and be so professional, I'm really proud of them.
No, they would come back. They would get rid of them, and they say, "Hey, we got more." And I was like, "Well, do you think you can get rid of all these today?" And like, "Oh yeah." And I was like, "Do you need a break or something?" They just went and ate lunch and came back and said, "No, we're good. We're out there hustling. We're ready to go." So
speaking of hustling, they got it filmed by Hustler. So if there's an issue of the Girls of Comic-Con, you might see them in it.
See, that's what Katie, if there's anything that creeped me out, sweetheart, if you're listening to this, she said, yeah, her and Jennifer were like, we got filmed by Hustler. And Jennifer's like, well, I'm 18, so it wasn't a big deal. But Katie was like, I told him I was 17. I was about to say, good for you. But then she said, but I said I'll be 18 in a couple of weeks. So I was
17 is legal in Texas.
Yeah, and 17 is legal in Texas. So release that Hustler in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want these girls to end up in Hustler.
I really don't.
But I will buy that issue if they are.
See, that's you. I cannot afford to say that. You can do that. I cannot afford to say that. I just hope that I wish Hustler hadn't got anywhere near them. I would love the publicity because they were wearing our T-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
I will whore them out in that way, but ethically, I do not feel comfortable then. But anyway, so good girls, man. They were really cool.
No, I barely got to talk to them, but I was impressed.
I'm gonna put a picture of them up so everybody can see.
Oh, good.
Speaking of costume people and all that kind of stuff, you've got to get a better costume next year.
Hey, man, I had a good costume.
I'm gonna put up that video if you don't mind.
You know what? Just because those idiots didn't recognize me, I mean, damn, you at San Diego Comic-Con, Batman's all over. Batman's got a new cartoon coming out called A Brave and the Bold. You couldn't recognize another Batman suit?
Just next year, let me recommend, if you do decide to do this again, let's just say Batman's still big and you wear that costume because you want to be Batman anyway.
Well, on the weekends, I am Batman.
Put your hair in braids, get cornrows, go bald or something, because it's the the helmet that's throwing them off. That's what's getting everybody. And the fact that you're black too and got a goatee, but
well, maybe I'll be Black Man next time.
We saw him.
That's true. We did.
We saw him in the Black Captain America.
Oh yeah, man, that Black Captain America was good. That was a good suit that guy
and he
had.
took that shit seriously. I saw him walking in. I put up my hand and gave him a high five, and we didn't even look at each other. We're just like, yeah. So
no, I mean that dude looked like he actually drank the super soldier serum. And I saw him over at the Marvel booth get up on stage with a bunch of other people.
Really?
Yeah,
that dude was badass, man. The Black Captain African American.
Now, see, something you don't know is that they actually did come out with a comic with a Black Captain America.
Well, he said that they did that.
Yeah. No, he's telling the truth. I mean, like they kind of retconned it to where, like, hey, before they actually experimented on a white guy, they sort of did like the Tuskegee.
Wait a minute, no, the syphilis one. It was
What was that called? Shit.
I figured what you talking about the Tuskegee Airman, but it's not that.
No, it's not that. It's
I forgot. Yeah, but they gave the black soldiers syphilis on purpose.
Right.
And that's something that people think is a conspiracy. No, that is actually true.
No, yeah, it really happened. But yeah, like they had like a bunch of black soldiers. They tried it on, who all of them died except that one guy.
Yeah. So, and that was Captain America.
Yeah, he was like the first Captain America.
Well, that leads up to the whole black panel thing that we did. And in addition to all these different people being there is a great black presence at these Comic-Cons,
oh, yeah.
man. And they had a whole panel for it. And that was actually, I don't want to say fun. I don't want to use a light word with it. I don't want to say enlightening because I don't want to act like I didn't know this was going on. It was a good experience.
It was. I mean, the thing is, if you end up going to San Diego Con again and you see the black panel and you're like, I don't know about this, I would highly recommend you go, whatever race you are. It's an informative and very entertaining panel. And the guy, Michael Davis, who runs it, he's actually, when he first got up there, I'm like, oh, nigga, quit clowning.
That is what I was thinking, too. I was like, oh, shit. Brothers got to clown anywhere they go. Just got to be funny.
Right.
Got to make everything.
Right. Got to sing Al Green songs.
But got to make it like church and Def Comedy Jam.
Exactly. But he actually is a good moderator, and he kept it entertaining and kept it moving.
Yes, he did.
And I mean, he could double as a stand-up comedian if he wanted to. I mean, but at the same time, it was a very enriching, worthwhile panel where you got a lot of information from.
Well, because you had different representatives of black people up there.
Exactly.
You had, of course, you had your black businessman, you had your black thugs.
Yeah. Yeah, Method Man.
Method Man was there. You had
who didn't know what he was talking about, but he was there.
He just didn't read any comics. Really, he read books, but
it's just funny. He's like, yeah, they got a comic book coming out about me, and I had a bunch of ideas, and they came up with one that I kind of wrote this with. Well, this other guy wrote.
But he actually said a lot of good things, man. He actually, I don't know if you remember, he was actually saying a lot of cool things.
I'm teasing. You're right.
I mean, I just don't want everybody to think, oh, these bougie brothers up here talking about the rapper.
No. Everybody on the panel was good.
No, you had because you had your black women.
Yeah.
And then you had your black people who don't do black shit. Like they had the guy that came up there. What was his name that drew for Marvel?
Oh, I don't remember his name.
But he was like, and he's kind of a square brother, kind of a corner brother, kind of thing. Like, hey, man,
he's the guy who draws Firestorm.
Yeah, exactly.
And he got to bitch about the fact that people were mad that they changed Firestorm from a white guy to a black guy, which. On one hand, I'm like,
who's Firestorm, man? I mean, talking about Johnny the
no, not
the woman.
No. Firestorm is a DC character. You might have seen him like back in the 80s or late 80s, early 90s, and they did the Superpowers cartoon, and they had Firestorm on there. And
okay, so who's
just in yellow? He could change matter to any.
So it's a DC character then.
It's a DC character, and they recently he had always been a white guy. Now they made him a black guy, and people complain because it's just like it felt like forced multiculturalism.
Oh, okay.
And I can understand the complaint because it wasn't like an organic thing. It's almost like they stepped back and they said let's start making some of these characters different races. It's one of these things where they do need more of that because DC has always been lacking in that department. At the same time, the idea that they're doing it just to do that could set people off. He had a big issue with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was it legitimate?
It's, you know what? It's legitimate on both sides.
My whole answer would have been, if you're on fire long enough, you're going to be black. Burn, baby, burn.
Well, the thing is, if the character sticks around long enough, everybody will just accept it, and that's all
exactly.
there is to it.
I remember, he got up, he had multi-interest. He got up and said, hey, I listen to heavy metal.
Yeah.
And like white women. No, he didn't say that.
And they did not throw him out.
And they didn't. No, and it was a lot. There's a lot of dudes up there who are coming out. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's admitting now to all their multiple interests.
Sure.
Because you had some of the guys who get up there who, like, one guy say, yeah, man, you know, one of the hardest looking brothers up there. Yeah, I'll watch Metalocalypse. I like to get my heavy metal on with that.
Yeah.
By the way, Metalocalypse is one of my favorite shows.
Man, I've gotten to where I love that show. It's funny. In the first season, I was like, it's a good idea that they aren't executing. And now I record it every week.
Yeah, no, I can see why everybody would be up there. But that black panel, man, was actually, you're right. If anybody needs to see it, it needs to be a lot of people who aren't black, too.
That's the thing. We need to get more non-black people in there because, you know what, the biggest thing we struggle with is getting everybody to see it like we're like everybody else. We want the same things. You remember when we helped them with that documentary with the guy that was doing, he wanted to show like these
the tie that buys or something?
Yeah, the ties that bind. He wanted to show that, like, you know, the potential of black consumerism. And it's just like, look, he asked me, like, you know, as a black man, what kind of products do you want to see? What do you want your life to be? I was like, I want the same thing everybody else has.
Yeah, I'm not like a dog. I don't need a different diet.
I mean, exactly.
You got regular food and you got a can of black man food. I mean, I hate to say it. That guy's a good guy, but who made that documentary? But it was ridiculous.
His heart was in the right place.
It was, but it's ridiculous. And not only that, but it came back like, hey man, I like Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid's good. And he come back that music.
Oh my God! Please, anybody filming anything about black people, do not use that Delta blues or the slave music. That sound like
gospel singing.
The struggle. I don't hear about no goddamn struggle anymore. You know, we about to have a black president. I don't feel like I'm struggling. Just treat me like anybody else.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's what this panel showed.
Yeah.
That within comics, you have a diverse group of people who still right now I don't feel like getting represented properly. I even said like there were certain things to this day people are saying this character would work better if that character was white.
Right. Which he said about Static Shock.
Static Shock, that's right. And that still goes on right now. We can sell this better if it's a white character. And that's the cool thing that guy who wrote Firestorm said. He said, if anybody ever says that, tell them to go fuck themselves.
It wasn't cool he said that because they'd already established it with little kids in the audience.
Kids need to hear that. I applauded
Everybody had gone out of their way to not do that. And he gets up there and says, and tell them to go fuck themselves. It's like,
hey man, kids need to say that. Say it to your teachers. No, okay. No, okay. No, but, cause see, and a lot of people need to hear that because I brought up this whole thing of saying Spike Lee caused a big uproar when he said a white man cannot direct Malcolm X.
Sure.
And I said, a white man can direct out Malcolm X, but
he just shouldn't.
But shouldn't. And Carlisle was the one that actually told me, he's like, that's the most racist thing I've ever heard you say. It's like, it's not racist where black people don't have a strong presence in well, maybe it's getting better now. I mean, but still, it's like not a big strong presence within entertainment. And to say that, wow, this one piece of history that if anybody should direct this, it should be a black person.
I would submit to you Mississippi Burning, a movie about Medgar Evers, a very important figure in the struggle for civil rights, directed by Rob Reiner, and it's all told from the point of view of Alec Baldwin's
Actually,
character.
I think that was directed by Alan Parker.
Oh, shit, not Mississippi Burning. Which one am I thinking about then? There's one with Alec Baldwin, and it's all about Medgar Evers, but it's told from Alec Baldwin's point of view.
Oh, a lot of those movies are done like that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, shit. Nah, it blows it. I got the wrong.
But I'm trying to remember what you're talking about too. But anyway, all I'm saying is like, it's not an insult to white people or anybody else by saying because you have the skills to do it. It's just consideration. Yeah. It's saying that there's jobs that need to be had by black people who have talent. There's a positions to be filled by black people that need to be filled probably. And a project like that should probably be given to a black director who should have that work. Who
has the talent.
Yeah, and who will write, and you're right, will tell it from the right perspective.
Yeah, it ain't like you gave it to Mario Van Peebles, who's like a third-rate director. It was Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Who did a phenomenal job.
Exactly.
It's like anything with like, when you get to affirmative action, people get mad as if like, suddenly like the engineering job went to Pookie the janitor. It's going to another qualified black candidate.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a white janitor who's mad that Pookie got his job. God damn it. I'm not going to sweep that
floor. I was up for that promotion, but they gave it to a black guy. He was sweeping the floors last week, and now he's my supervisor.
But see, that's the other thing that panel kind of showed. Is that when you get to see the diversity within interests within people, you get to see how much it's not a thing of separation. You begin to see how much we are actually alike in a lot of ways. And we're not trying to separate ourselves. We want to be included.
Yeah.
We have people say, why are they talking about having a black company? Because a lot of those companies up there, it either had a black representation or you had BET was a black company. You had another, the moderator was part of a black company.
Yeah. He Milestone Media.
Yeah.
Back in the early '90s, was an offshoot, a company, sort of under the DC umbrella, but it was all a lot of those guys. Dennis Cowan, who's doing the animation on the Black Panther, and Dwayne McDuffie, who's writing Ben 10 right now, who I introduced you to, right? Writes a lot of Justice League episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
All those guys were running that company.
Well, just want to let you know, it was good to say, because they said we don't want to be a black company.
Right.
But sometimes you have to represent yourself as a black company to get those interests that would normally not be having. They wouldn't take a chance with some of those properties if you didn't have a black company representing them.
They were able to use that publicity-wise to get known.
And they said we hired gays, white people, everybody else. We just had a bunch of black properties that we needed to get done, and this is the only way to do it. No, nobody wants to be a black anything. No, if you ask me, I don't want there to be an Ebony magazine. I don't want there to be a Jet magazine. I want there to be magazines where everyone is represented equally. But you go to a grocery store, every magazine is represented by a white face. So therefore you are forced to have Ebony magazine to represent you.
Yeah.
We don't want that. But what are you going to do?
Latina magazine.
Latina magazines.
Which I like to, well, I can't read it, but I like to look through it.
Boy, them Latina chicks are
telling you, man.
God damn, man. Look, don't even get me started on Univision.
I know. It's poor man's Playboy.
I should be able to. I should know Spanish by now. As much Mexican ass as I'm watching.
That's always my excuse. Hey, why are you watching this? I'm trying to learn Spanish.
Yeah, if it's spoken out of a woman's ass, maybe I'll learn it then. Hola. See girls, fine ass cheeks speaking. ¿Cómo está? Muy bueno. But so anyway, Comic-Con. All I'm saying is Comic-Con, to sum it all up, just showed me what I always thought would happen when I was young. You grow up and you keep those interests that you have in those comics and animation, everything else. They evolve with you. Video games are going to be next. So.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't believe it before, but maybe so, because I got to say, saw the new Star Wars preview for the new Star Wars movie, Clone Wars. Mm-hmm. Looks like shit. Sorry, it does. They showed me a lot of it. All boring. TV show, boring. But the new Star Wars video game, The Force Unleashed, that looks badass.
Man,
and I mean, like, not just the graphics, the story. The story to me looks like the best Star Wars story ever told.
Yeah, it's a rogue Jedi.
Yeah.
And you get to do all the stuff that you've wanted to do as a Jedi that they haven't been able to put in any video games as of yet. You go around just tearing up shit with your Force powers.
I mean, even all that's great, but outside of the stuff you get to do, the cut scenes of the story itself.
Oh, you know what?
Like, this is really good.
I missed those, man. I didn't see those cut scenes.
Oh, you didn't see those?
No, they didn't show them the last time they showed the game where I saw it.
No.
Man.
You should see these. Like, really well acted. I was like really into it because like the Jedi, he's a double agent. With Darth Vader kind of raising him, but then the Emperor comes in and fucks him up. And he said, and the Emperor's kind of telling Darth Vader, like, hey, you need to choose.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so I didn't know it was that deep.
No, it was. I was like, this. I'm like, you guys got this backwards. Clone Wars needs to be your video game. This needs to be your movie.
You know what? You're right. Well, hopefully they'll make a movie out of that and let George Lucas fuck that up too.
Yeah. So see, I think George Lucas didn't have much to do with the video game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, George Lucas. I love him to death. I love him for what he's done for movies. I respect that. No, I wouldn't even say that. But at the same time, I really do. A lot of people think I don't like Star Wars because I'm an anti-George Lucas person. No, I had so much faith in George Lucas and loved Star Wars so much.
Sure.
It's heartbreaking to see what I saw. And I'm not going to be one of those fans who's going to overlook all the problems just so I can keep loving it.
Right.
Not enough about that. Anyway, you want to go ahead and get into some email?
Right. Let's do that.
All right. I normally don't do this, but this guy approached me the right way.
He came correct.
He came correct. He paid his respect when he wrote this email, and he says,
Godfather's ring.
He says, "Hey, Corey, I love the site, and I'm a huge fan of all the content." Now, see, he buttered me up right there. He had me.
Right.
I was hoping you could do me a favor. Tomorrow, my brother Joseph is having his birthday, and he's turning 15. He loves the site, and he's a loyal member.
Could you not cuss anymore?
You were corrupting my little brother. He stabbed somebody because of you. No, he says that he calls every week for the secret call-in show, and he creates top 10 lists every week. His last one was a robot list, and I stole it from him. So I said that. I stole it. So he says on the next to Coco, I like calling it Colwyn's because the Coco sounds so gay. But he says on the next to Colwyn, could you say a quick happy birthday to him, please?
What's his name?
I'd appreciate it. He says he would love it, and thanks. And his brother's name is Josh. Joseph. I think this is Josh that wrote the email. Joseph has a birthday. Joseph is turning 15. All right. So let's give him a happy birthday. Joseph, you made it. 15.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Joseph. There you go.
15 years without dying. We
exactly.
congratulate you.
Got some hair on your nuts now. Look at you. Think you a man now, don't you? Writing emails and shit, calling me every week.
I think if he's Jewish, that means he's a man.
What makes you think he's Jewish?
I'm saying if. I don't think he is. I'm just saying if he is.
What? Because he's not circumcised yet?
No, you're 15. I think you get to have your bar mitzvah at 15 or 14, and then you're a man.
Hey, Joseph, if you are Jewish and you're having a bar mitzvah, invite us. That's the way you can repay us. Because man, at these bar mitzvahs, I can't even say it. I love them so much. At these bar mitzvahs, they spend money.
Oh yeah,
they got 50 Cent showing up. They got all these pop stars and everything.
Slow down, loose cannon, because you got to contribute money too.
You do?
Yeah,
I got $2.
And add another couple, 3 Hunskies to that.
Are you serious?
Like, everybody brings presents, and they bring quite a bit of
We would
money.
be the present. He loves us so much, showing up. We would, in fact, you should, if you like the site so much and you're Jewish, this kid's not even Jewish.
I know he's not even
He's
Jewish.
like, I'm not even Jewish. I'm not even having a bar mitzvah. What are you
He's
talking
like,
about?
I'm actually German. Let's come down to it.
Exactly. But if you are, make us your guest and pay us to come there. How about that? Just give us a ticket. We'll be happy. We'll settle for a chicken wing or something. Okay. So this is a question from Alex. And Alex Hacker.
Alex Hacker. I haven't heard from him in a long time.
Well, here he is. Rock him like a hurricane. He says, with all of the films lined up for the fall, which of them are you most interested in or not interested in? Why or why not? And that's from Alex. I have one.
I get this question all the time.
Well, I'm excited to answer this because
go ahead.
I have a film that I saw and I was actually eager to say, I'm looking forward to the fall for this movie. I think it's called Miracles at St. Anna.
Yeah.
It's
the Spike Lee
Spike
film?
Lee,
His World War II
the
film?
World War II film from Spike Lee.
The one that got the controversy going with him and Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, and you know that brother started that controversy just to
get publicity for his film.
See, goes to show you that we are fair black people. Because we don't rally behind every black person that does something foolish, okay? Spike Lee needs to sit his ass down and stop doing that shit, okay?
No, Spike Lee has a long career of doing this. Because nobody knew he was making a World War II film. He's like, I know how to get people to know I'm making this film.
It's cool, but okay, maybe, look, I don't know what's going on with Spike Lee. Maybe that wasn't his intention, but the way I heard it, I was saying to myself, why is he fucking with Clint Eastwood? Why is he doing this?
Well, the thing is, what you got to realize, and you probably do, is that often when somebody's giving a talk, somebody, if it's a Q&A, somebody will stand up and ask a question. A controversial question like that, it'll get answered. People don't always take the high road. They just, they're off the cuff, or they might say something they know will make press, and there's press there to cover it. And once it's out, then everybody go like, hey, this will be an exciting story. They run with it. It's published everywhere. And then the thing has legs where it was just a tossed off question.
Yeah, so you're saying he probably was forced to.
He might. It's like back a few months ago when Hank Azaria was asked like, hey, how come you guys didn't have George Takei do the George Takei voice? They had you do it instead. He tells a little anecdote about how, oh yeah, George was there and he said something to this one intern and creeped him out. Everybody published that Hank Azaria called George Takei creepy. It was everywhere.
Oh really?
To the point that like on Howard Stern, they went and confronted him about it. He apologized. He's like, I'm sorry. No, I love George. I don't think he's creepy at all. I didn't know I said that. And it's like, look, the guy's on a talk show. He's just trying to say something. You have a humorous anecdote.
I mean, and what if George Takei really did creep somebody out? I mean,
there's that story. It was kind of like, that was kind of creepy what he said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if he really did do that?
Yeah.
Shit, I ain't going to defend him because he's George Takei.
Takei. He's always corrected people.
Takei.
It's Takei.
Look,
rhymes with toupee.
I watched the old Star Trek. They called him Takei on there.
Well, they were wrong.
Okay, all right then. Hey, Takei, it is that. Thank you.
Yes.
So, all right. What are you looking forward to? Anything? It does look like a really good movie, though, man.
Does it? Okay.
You should see the trailer for it.
No.
It looks exciting.
You know what? I'm excited because you're excited. I mean, the thing is, people ask me all the time what I'm excited about, and to be honest, you know what? I tell my stock answer is I don't get excited by trailers because trailers often lie.
But you look forward to something. I mean, when you saw the trailer for The Dark Knight, you said, "Hey,
no, you're wrong." every time I saw a trailer for The Dark Knight, it didn't do anything for me. I would be like, dang, I thought this would be more exciting. Based on the trailer for The Dark Knight, my expectations were kind of mid-range when I thought it should have been better.
Okay.
Now, I can say the one trailer I did see that excited the shit out of me was Tron 2.0. That blew my socks off.
Man, even because somebody bootlegged it on the site.
I know, and that's a shitty bootleg.
Even look, because it was shot from somebody's crotch.
Yeah.
and the angle's all twisted.
Right.
And even like that, I was like, damn. That looks good.
Yeah, and you can imagine me seeing it on a big screen with that loud sound cranked up.
Oh man, I like Tron. Tron's a cult movie for me because it's the dumbest movie I've ever seen. It really is, but it's so groundbreaking in its visuals that for some reason I just love watching it, and the music in it is great. I mean, that movie had a lot of stuff going for it except the story. So
kind of like Purple Rain.
Yeah, it's groundbreaking, but yeah,
great music, acting and story. Forget about it.
Bullshit. Yeah, but everybody has Purple Rain, so everybody knows Tron. Tron is a big cult favorite among people, and this movie it has me excited, man. I'm looking at that trailer. I can't wait to see what you saw on the big screen.
Yeah,
just the trailer. So yeah, those two movies, man. I have to say, though, those are the movies I'm looking forward to. And Tron's not coming out in the fall, though.
Oh, no. Fall? I don't know. I mean, I really want Punisher to be good so that when I say the Thomas Jane Punisher sucks, people won't try to argue with me about it.
What is it? Oh, and let me tell you some things I saw real quick that were really cool at Comic-Con. Watchmen was badass.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I was skeptical about Watchmen, but listening to you talk about it, now I'm kind of excited.
I don't know how they'll sound when they talk, but it looks amazing.
Sure.
So, anyway, go on to this last email here. I was wondering if you and Carlisle would mind touching on MTV's plans to remake the Rocky Horror Picture Show. The news has left me both concerned and bewildered, mostly because it's MTV doing it. And hey, I can't say I'm bewildered, shocked, anything, because when they say they're remaking something, they remake everything now.
They remake everything. You know what? This really is a Carlisle-centric question.
Yeah, it is. And he would be great to answer this.
Yeah. Because he's all about the Rocky Horror
And this is from
Picture Show.
Baseline right here. Oh, that's right. He is into the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He did that shit. We went out and sang in front of the screen and all that.
Yeah, where he would do that every week and go see that. And I've never seen it once. The little bit I've seen, I was like, this is dumb.
It's for, I must say, I'm joking around with Carlisle. I have to say, if you ever listen to these, he really is very good at answering emails, and he's really good at the whole thing. I mean, doing this. I mean, he's
saying I suck.
No, we just making fun of him so much at the beginning. No.
I mean, we all love each other. We make fun of each other.
Exactly. I just didn't want him to think that I was doing it because he'll get sensitive about it and come back and start. I heard you talking about me, and I was like,
then he'll cry and then he'll kill us all.
Yeah, exactly. He'll murder us, and we'll be back next week to repeat and do over it again.
Because that's the beauty of cartoon characters.
But yeah, I've seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm not a big fan of it, so fuck it, let them. I mean, I've seen it. The only way that movie has, and I know there's some people who are going to kill me because they are Rocky Horror Picture Show fans. Baseline, who wrote this email, I know you're probably going to come back at me, but I've seen it like 3 times on TV, expecting to discover something that I didn't see before that would get me excited. And you have to really go through that experience of going to the theater and singing in order for it to be that good, I think.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen some of it. I couldn't finish it. I mean, I think it's it's based on the amount of melanin in your skin. For some people, there's the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and for other people, there's Dolomite. That's just the way it goes.
That's true, because I know I have a lot of movies that, like Carlisle says every week, you like Squirm, and I have to say, man, I can't really argue with you, but you're making fun of me about that. Cool. But hey, yeah, we love a movie about killer worms, but other people be like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? So
why are you guys watching that? Now, excuse me while I go put on my fishnet tights
and my lipstick on my way to see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah. So anyway, man, that's it for tonight.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm so glad you came. I know you did this at the last minute. I know you want to go home, especially after watching Brideshead Revisited. But
yeah, I couldn't wait.
But I had to get this up tomorrow, so thanks for answering the call. So with that said, good night.
Good night, everybody.